Hey everybody, welcome to Obscurities in Miniatures, and today I took the plunge and bought myself a box of D&D Frameworks models. So, for those of you people who aren't as cool as the cool kids who are in the know, the Frameworks are the latest attempt at Wizkids slash D&D to try to break into, I guess, the more larger scale skirmish hard plastic kit. I don't really know what the purpose is. I mean, they've already got like the deep cuts line. But anyway, these are honest to goodness plastic model kits, and I'm a sucker for plastic model kits. So I had to take the leap and pick up a box. And what's interesting is, so before I ordered this, you'll notice there are 7 orcs on the cover. A lot of the early pre-order papers, I don't know what I was going to say papers for. Anyway, the pre-order pages and artwork only showed 5 models, but all of the actual listings put 7 figures. So I just wanted to dispel that myth. This is the first time I've actually seen the finished box. I've seen lots of mock-ups, and yeah, you do get 7. So you can see here how it breaks down. You get 2 of this sprue, 2 of that sprue, 1 of these, 1 of those, 1 of that dude. 8 sprues in all to build 7 orcs. What can you do with sprue? Scan to find out. I feel like there's an article missing there. The sprue, a sprue. Interesting that it has the little hangy tab. At the price point that Wizkids is selling these at, I don't think they're going to be flying off the pegs. So here's what the interior looks like. And for those of you who are really in the know, or which translates to super nerdy like people like me, these sprues should look really familiar. Here is the actual directions sheet. So if you've ever watched any of my Kingdom Death videos, these are 100% have to be Wargames Factory designed plastics. Just the way the frame is laid out, the way the parts are numbered, the fonts, those plugs, that is the dead giveaway. These are Wargames Factory sprues. So that means these are in good hands. If you've ever seen any of my Kingdom Death videos or ever wanted to take that plunge, these are the same manufacturer that these are made with. And I mean, honestly, the quality, it looks and feels almost like a Kingdom Death kit, except the pieces are bigger. You know what those Kingdom Death figures are like. I mean, this looks pretty straightforward. You do have a base topper. I don't think there's any actual bases included, and if there are, I haven't come across them. Okay, this is interesting how they have the instructions. It's just a single sheet. So this is Orc 5. And they have a whole lot of suggested tools there for you. It does look like every figure in the set has optional parts. This is, I think, the leader dude, because you can see he's got like the tattered banners hanging off his back, or the dramatic billowing cloak. Little objective markers included. Nice touch. Are there multiple objective markers? It kind of looks like it. This is Orc 4, and he has something similar. Well, maybe it's just a reminder to check that frame. 3, 2, and 1. I don't know. Well, which orc was I looking at to begin with? As I knock things out of the way. I know, it just says orcs. That doesn't help me. Orc 5. Okay, that's not an S, that's a 5. Okay, see, these are like the little objective markers, and they have little stands for them. Interesting. Was there an orc body? Oh, okay. So these are just the extra bits that go on this frame. Here's the actual body. Decent sized. Not too big, not too small. When I think big orcs, I think stuff like Conquest's Wadroon. Ooh, well, maybe I'll give them a good run for the money there. When I think small orcs, I tend to think old GW 40K boys. Yeah. Them booty orcs. Shoot that thing. Okay, so yeah, this one, oh, no, take a look. Here we have another objective marker thing. Interesting. Weapon choices. Most of the bodies look like a front and back half. Fair enough. Good size. Good level of detail. Good level of violence. And again. So those little decorative bits are going to come in handy for any kind of terrain or objective markers, whatever you wish to use them for. Let's see what's in this bag. Okay, and then these are repeats, it looks like. Yeah. And this is the one we get 2 of each. See there, front, back. I'm assuming that's his base. Various extra little bits. Same exact thing. A couple of different hand weapons. That's always a nice touch. And then this guy's got options for either ranged or a spear. Or why not both, since you have 2 of those sprues anyway. So, I gotta say, I mean, it looks like a little decent kit. I'm gonna put these together, and I will try not to moan and groan too much about the price. It's expensive. But other than that, looks like it's going to be a fun little build. So sit tight. Let's see how things turn out. Okay, folks. We got some orcs put together here. I gotta say, they're nice little figures. And I gotta say also that I found their bases. It's these nice little acrylic tiddlywink things, which honestly are kind of a cool idea. So you take one of those, you take one of these baked pizza looking dishes. Now here's the issue I have. Most of these are the exact same diameter as the little bases that are included. So that kind of renders them pointless, in my opinion. Now some of them are smaller than others, but then if you actually mount them on a regular size base, hey, looking good, right? And then we can take said orcs and stick them on there. Pretty simple, right? I gotta say, having actually built them now, and having had much experience building Kingdom Death models, which are produced in the same factory, and if you don't believe me, I mean, go watch some of my Kingdom Death videos, because the sprue layouts are absolutely the same. Those are 100% Wargames factory ones. And let's see here. I do not have any Frameworks humans yet, but I at least have another Wizkids human, just to give you guys a idea of how big they're supposed to be. And for me, this is a nice size. I feel like orcs should be a little bit bigger, a little bit bulkier than the average human. That's just how I roll, how I think. Grabbing a GW Iron Jaws there, also to give you guys a good size indication of what to expect size-wise. Now, stylistically, obviously, they look nothing alike, but, you know, they are what they are. Now here is one of the variation bodies. Of course, if you're like me, you can skip that and just glue them down. They do stand quite nicely on their own without any extra little cookie bits. If you're not into those kinds of bases. I'm not particularly, but that's just me. Now, detail is quite nice. There's no denying that. And a grizzly with all their little trophies. Interesting thing is the way his quiver is keyed, it'll fit on most of the other bodies. And that's something I actually wanted to talk about. So I saved a body. It's this guy's body. They're twinsies. Most of the heads, so we have 2 of those. Remember, there were 2 doubled sets. Most of the heads, as you can see, I've got paint all over my fingers. It doesn't want to go off. Most of the heads, obviously not this one, are kind of designed for a specific body. They're not going to really cooperate with you unless you really start to play around with things. Same with the arms. Some arms fit on the bodies better than others. But if you really wanted to start mixing and matching, I don't know, I think I said mathing, that's going to be a bit of a challenge. So see, this is actually for this body. That is the correct body, But I mean, with a little bit of wiggle room, playing around, some putty, some glue, it will work. But then there's other hands, and to me this is kind of silly and pointless why they did it this way, that are not keyed the same. I guess that is because that's the original arm. Never mind. I'm throwing arms everywhere and I don't know what I had a point I was trying to make here. Where did I put it? Yeah, okay. Like this one you can see. To me, it would have made more sense. Why not just key everything the same so we can really make these compatible? And like that head I was just showing you guys, why not have that so it works on all the bodies? Again, this is designed for a specific one, but nothing a little bit of model glue will help fix. And that leads me to my major annoyance besides the price. I mean, that obviously is a major issue. If you're made of money, unlike me, maybe you can just splurge, but to me that's a big, big red flag. Thankfully I had a bunch of credit left over from an online shop, so hey, cool, that's what paid for these. I'm not going to complain. Of course, if Wizkids wants to send me a bunch of stuff to check out, I'm not going to hurt. I'm not going to I'll oblige them, but yeah, that ain't happening. They're interesting models. I mean, I really like the look of them. They're pretty big. They're not like little dinky guys. And, you know, being Wargames Factory, they do have quite a lot of parts involved. So if you like that aspect, I definitely think it's not bad. And considering you do get 7 of them, not a bad deal. If you're paying $30 for Kingdom Death models, you might be used to that. Here's the boss guy. So I was trying to mess around and see if I can get his cape attached to another body. Nope, it only works for him. That is such a Kingdom Death cape. It's like 4 parts. And yeah, unfortunately, I can't hold it while I'm trying to film. It just doesn't work. It's just keyed for that body, unfortunately. So yeah, that's a bit of a swing and a miss right there for me. I really would have loved to have seen some true modularity across the entire set of guys. We haven't even talked about all the little weird stakes. The bases on those are so tiny. They're kind of a hassle to mess with. So, I don't know. I'm thinking I'm going to turn them into objective markers or something. And I mean, there's a few leftover bits, as you can see in a sec here, with all the arms that I'm going to throw and heads here. But to me, I just feel like I don't know what they were trying to accomplish with this set. Sure, they're nice, but, you know, I think for the average GM, DM, whoever's running the game is probably going to be the one supplying all the monsters and stuff. Most of the people I know that tend to run the games like to be a bit more conservative with their purchases and get a lot of bang for their buck. So, you know, when they can buy, you know, the same 5 poses of Bones and other Wizkid figures for that matter, to me it seems way more economical. I mean, but even if you're going to buy multiple boxes of these dudes, you're still going to run into the same issue, because while there is some options of mixing and matching, you are still going to run into the issue of the fact that, you know, there's only so many variations on these guys you can make. Like with the cape on the boss, for instance, you know, nobody else is going to be able to wear it. So, I don't know. I like them. I don't love them. And it's hard for me to, like, really want to recommend them to people if it's going to be, you know, I feel like there's too many constraints. It's not like, wow, this is just such a great deal, you know? And I think if you're going to be playing in games where you're going to need a whole lot of them, I don't know. I think it might be more economical at that point to go check out, you know, some of the wargaming options. Or, dare I say it, you know, some of like the STL options out there. Because I think if you have access to a printer, I mean, that's the elephant in the room here. You know, $30-40 of resin is going to get you probably enough to print hundreds of monsters and variations of all sorts of shapes and sizes. So, you know, it's a tough sell. I feel the box is way too pricey for what you're getting. As I continue to amass a variety of green skin peoples of various shapes and sizes, just to get you guys a good idea. Some printed, some plastic, even some resin. No resin, other than printed resin. Anyway, I'm mumbling. But I do suggest, if you're interested, you know, and I'd like to see it succeed. Personally, you know, I saw there was the announcement of the new D&D skirmish game coming out, but then again, it's all pre-painted stuff. It just feels like there's so much that's coming out, and it feels like very much the shotgun approach of just seeing what sticks and what are people interested in and what are people going to buy. Yeah, you know, people like me that are just mildly curious and like to build models, I think it's not a bad value, especially if you can get it at a good price. If you're going to be running big gaming sessions that require lots of these, I definitely think there are more economical ways of going about doing so. So I will leave that at the viewer's discretion. But, you know, for what they're worth, they definitely do the job admirably, and I really don't know, am I going to be painting them in kind of grayish skin tones or greens? I'll let you guys decide. Voice your opinions down below. Let me know what you think. And let's see if you can help me change my mind one way or the other. So yeah, with that said, this has been High Lord Tamberlane with Obscurities and Miniatures, saying thanks for watching, and we will see you back here soon. Bye-bye.